Loki, the god of mischief and one of the simplest villains in comic books. His motives are always pretty clear, even if his plan is shrouded in mystery, and he seems to just want to get the job done no matter what. The question is, how does he get those jobs done exactly? What are Mr. Mischief's powers and abilities? Let's find out. Hello and welcome to the show with Issues. I'm Auram, and it's October. As you can see, the set has been semi-infested with Halloween decorations. Just a smidge. I figured I'd get into the spirit of things and kick off the month with a power hour on Loki, because he totally relates to Halloween, right? Let's be real, I just wanted another chance to talk about one of my favorite villains. That all being said, let's get started. I need to start off with a quick disclaimer. I'm only talking about the original Loki of Earth 616, not Kid Loki, not Young Loki, not King Loki, not any of them. If you have no idea what I'm talking about with all these Lokis, check out a previous episode of the show where I talked about every Loki ever. Plugging my own show in the same show aside, let's do a quick rundown of Loki's origin for the few of you that aren't familiar. You know, I say that, but Loki's origin was recently changed a little bit, so a lot of you might actually be unfamiliar with it. Anyway, the tale begins an undetermined amount of time ago when Bor, father of Odin and grandfather to Thor, was king of Asgard. He was in a war with the Frost Giants when he noticed a wounded one trying to get away. Bor followed it only to find an old sorcerer waiting for him in the snow. Odin rushed to protect his father, but he was too late. The sorcerer turned Bor to snow, and he cursed his son to liberate him from death, or he would have to care for the son of a fallen king. Odin was hounded by the ghost of his late father until a battle with the Frost Giants where he killed their king, Laufey. He climbed to the top of the main stronghold to find an Asgardian-sized baby, which he took in as his own out of a combination of guilt and, well, obligation. That baby was Loki, and Odin raised him, along with Thor, on Asgard. What Odin never realized, however, was that the sorcerer was actually present-day Loki gone back in time to set forward his own origin. He even conjured Bor's ghost to remind Odin of his curse. As the boys grew, Loki began to resent Thor in Asgard because of the way he was treated. Thor was treated with high respect and reverence, while Loki was treated as, well, lesser. This led Loki to turn to sorcery, and eventually, as he grew into adulthood, became the god of mischief and lies we all know today. It's time to move on to the meat of the episode, the powers that Loki possesses. Starting off with his inherent biological changes, Loki is part frost giant, but growing up on Asgard has made his physiology reflect that of a normal Asgardian. Loki has been seen lifting over 50 tons of weight and has even destroyed a building with a single punch. Loki's tissue is also extremely dense, as is the case with most Asgardians. It's about 3 times the density of a human and causes the god to weigh hundreds of pounds more than he looks. Loki's durability and longevity are also at superhuman status, reflecting that of a normal Asgardian. Longevity is just his ability to age much slower than a normal human, and durability is pretty self-explanatory. His frost giant DNA does come into play in some cases, though. His stamina is heavily affected, seeing as he can operate at peak capacity for over 24 hours before becoming fatigued. Loki has been able to enhance all of these abilities in a variety of ways, mostly by using his knowledge and inherent ability of the mystic arts. Take his Asgardian healing factor, for example. Normally he would just regenerate tissue at a faster rate than a human, but through enchantment, Loki has been seen to survive even after decapitation without a sweat. Speaking of magic, Loki is also a sorcerer. Other than using his magic to elevate his inherent powers, Loki is a telekinetic, he can shapeshift, himself and others, project beams of energy, teleport, etc. He basically has use of the phrase, because magic. If you think of something, Loki can probably do it. Except he can't, because comics. Loki does have some limitations on his magic. For example, his ability to shapeshift is one of the most taxing things he can do, and he has a hard time maintaining the forms he transforms into. Not to mention, his magic is diminished to an extent when on Earth as opposed to Asgard. It's not a huge difference, but definitely noticeable. Moving on to the less fantastic of his power set, the everyday abilities of the god of mischief. Loki possesses a genius-level intellect, along with a vast knowledge of the mystic arts. He's also extremely cunning and a master of manipulation, which allows him to pull off his many schemes and truly bear the title God of Mischief. Loki also has the very convenient ability of Allspeak, the power to be able to fluently speak and understand every language known to the 9 realms. As for power grid ratings, Loki has a 5 in intelligence, 5 in strength, either a 3 or a 7, depending on if he's teleporting or not, in speed, 6 in durability, 6 in energy projection, and 3 in fighting skills. Here's Loki's stats compared to that of Thor, his half-brother, and Doctor Strange, a fellow sorcerer. So there you go, Loki's powers and abilities. Once again, this was just the original Loki's powers, none of the other stuff. Doing research for this video, I actually found a lot of interesting stories about Loki's use of magic, so my question to you is this. What's your favorite use of Loki's magic? That nonchalant head reattachment that I showed earlier was pretty good, but I'm sure there are crazier circumstances out there. But that's it for this week. Don't forget to leave a comment to that question, and before you leave, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on anything. That being said, thank you so much for watching. Next time, I complain on Twitter for 2 days about my book being spoiled, but then the day that the book comes out, I spoil it for everyone on Twitter. Loki also has the very convenient ability of Allspeak, the power to be able to fluently speak and understand every language known to the Nine Realms. I'm bored. Welcome to the Mind Realms.